Greetings and salutations. Second Star right back with the second season of Tottenham Hotspur on Football Manager 23. All right, let's take a look at the squad and see what is shaken. Okay, it looks like we are. I'll move that down there. We're first on the table. It's always a nice way to start your October, which is where we're at now. But let's see how we got to this point, shall we? I'm gonna have to move myself back up again, aren't I? Because we are going to look at transfers. This is what happened over the summer to kind of reshape the team in the image that I would prefer. But not really, because I did still go out with play with wingers. I said I wasn't going to. I said I was going to pull it back and play more in the midfield with two strikers up front. I did not do that because there's a lot of good wingers available for minimal prices. So I thought I'd look at the financial side of playing my formation rather than my preferred tactical setup. So that's what I did. And let's see what happens. Okay, so first, people out. Okay. Højbjerg, Davinson Sanchez, Eric Dyer, Jed Spence, all gone. Not because I didn't like them, but Dyer and Sanchez were in the last year of their deals, and they said they wanted to explore their options. They said they're completely uninterested in signing new deals. So I really had no choice from a financial point of view to send them on their way. I was able to sell Dyer for 30 million. Sanchez is on a loan, but with a loan fee of 1.1, and I think at like a 19, somewhere between 13 and 19 million as a mandatory purchase price. So he will be joining Newcastle at the end of the year. Højbjerg went to Milan for 35 million. Harvey White's on loan at Hull. Riley Owen, Cheltenham. Julian Audet is at Reading for this year. He was a bit young, and I felt I had sufficient coverage on that side. I know defensive backs are sometimes difficult to kind of maintain, especially the way I play them. I run them ragged, but I had sufficient cover, I felt. And so he's gone. See if we can get some more playing time over at Reading. Facundo Buonanotte, who I have high hopes for in the future, but for now, he's going to go to Huddersfield. He probably wouldn't have broken in to the extremely packed midfield that is the Hotspurs midfield right now. It's kind of crazy, even with Højbjerg gone. Kirika Buru, who showed a lot of promise in his first season. Again, I thought maybe he'd just develop better if I send him over to Nottingham for the year. Same with Alfie Devine. I like his potential. He's just not going to play a lot this year, so off he goes. Doherty, 13 million to Aston Villa. It's just he was 31. He's just on the wrong side of 30 for me, and his I thought I could get a better player in that position, so he's out. Bloxham's off on loan. So I don't know. I don't know about him. I don't know how he's going to develop. He's not looking good not looking good so far, as far as I'm concerned. But he's only 18. Maybe he'll be a late bloomer. Who knows? So he's going to come for Coventry for the year. Pakotsi, his contract is up. I just let him go. Not a big deal. So, who did we bring in? All right, let's see. We have Asensio, came in on a free from Real Madrid. He looks really good. He's really going to help out on set pieces too. So it's always nice to have another option there because my set pieces last year were minimal. Heung-min Son was good. I brought in Sabitzer. He was also okay in the set piece department. He wasn't great, but he was able to kind of solidify that a little bit. And I brought in Dominic Zoboslai, who just does a lot. I love the threat he is from distance, his corner taking, his free kicks. Again, another solid guy to have kind of sniping in the midfield as an option to maybe score from distance, which I think is something that when you're looking at a really good midfielder, sometimes you don't look at how they can contribute offensively from the middle just with their legs, shooting. And I think that he has the potential to really develop that part of his game. Sabitzer did good for me in that role last year, so hopefully he can kind of slide in there and being a younger version of Sabitzer. Speaking of Heung-min Son, he was so angry that I let Eric Dyer go that he gave me an ultimatum that I had to make a promise that I would build up the center back position. So I brought in Eric Garcia from Barcelona. for $25 million up front, $29 million. I think a balloon payment after 50 games. And I brought in Antonio Silva, who looks really good from Benfica. I think that I like the ball playing defenders, and he looks like he can develop into something really special. He's 19 right now, and he's solid physically already, some decent mentals, and he has some decent technical attributes too, which are sometimes hard to find, in a center back. And I think that he can be like a mini, he's no Josko Vordial yet, but I think he has potential to really contribute in that area. He's a bit light, I guess. He's 176, so he's a skinny 6'2", but I think he's going to develop nicely. I'm really excited about that particular pickup. Who was not excited about that was was when my transfer window closed. Youngson Min was pissed and unhappy that I didn't do anything to solidify the center, and he's obviously insane because Garcia and Silva are a fantastic duo, more than making up for what I lost in the middle, but he didn't seem to think so. So I guess we're going to have to agree to disagree there, and I pretty much told him as much. I'm like, look, man, sorry. Hopefully he'll get over it, because I really do need him to produce. And since he's been unhappy, it's been kind of hit or miss. But maybe we'll get into that a little bit later. Mark Albrighton got for $1 million. He's ancient. Methuselah, they're 33, but he signed as an emergency backup. That's all he is. Low contract. He's just there when everyone else is hurt or unregistered or whatever problems I might have. He's just there just to fill a hole, just in case. I thought he'd be better use of my salary than Matt Doherty, who was getting paid a lot, not starting much, and so I was able to get $13 million for Doherty, a much less salary, in Albrighton, who is probably a little bit better playing that right back position anyway, at least for a year, and we'll see what happens later. I'll kick the can down the lane a little bit until next year. Andre Santos, picked up from, where'd I get him from? He's a 19-year-old Brazilian from VDG. What is VDG? I don't know. I don't know who they are, what that stands for. Huh. I should learn that. Okay, well, anyway, he's from VDG, and Santos was highly recommended by every single scout. On all my little scouting focus things, it was all, guy, you gotta sign the Santos guy. Every single scout was adamant that I do it, so I did. He was not, backbreakingly expensive for someone who's this developed at this young of an age. He was a bit less than Silva, who I did go up to $34 million for in additional clauses to get him to sign. So things are looking good, and I run Livramento too on a loan. I usually don't like to pay loan fees, but to share time on the right back, someone who's young and fast and can develop, and maybe I can get him to as a preferred staff, maybe it might make it easier for him to sign later if that becomes an option. He's still expensive right now. He's probably going to be expensive later, but maybe I can unsettle him later and make him run out of him that way. So the squad looks pretty good. Kane, Asensio's hurt right now, so let's see. Hung-Sun Min is just tired. We'll just stick him in there. So that's the usual starter. Kulusevski, there was a bug in this. I should bring this up because I think this is probably going to happen to most people. I was unable to sign him after he had a $34.5 million clause when he was on loan last year, where to activate it, I'd get him for 34. That did not work. It said that I was unable to make a bid on this player. I searched it online, and this bug would come up occasionally with players who were on loan that had an agreed fee. I never run into it before, but it has happened in the past. Now, I don't know if it's because I waited till like a couple days before his contract expired, it shouldn't matter. I mean, I've done it on the last day numerous times in other versions of FM, but for some reason I could not get Kulusevski. So I was able to get him afterwards, but it was like 39 million instead of 34 million. I think it was touch and go. And I think the first time I put it in, they wanted like 70 million. I was like, whoa, that's like twice what we had agreed. But I don't remember what happened, but I was able to get him for less. And I was prepared to edit it too. Like I would have edited out to 34 because it was agreed. It's a bug in the game. I would have had no compunction against doing that if I had to. So Kulusevski's in the fold, which is great because he is a fantastic talent. Sabitzer and Santos. The midfield rotates a lot. We have so many options. Really packed midfield. If I can just get to the squad planner. Packed midfield, as you can see. I want to highlight Giovanni Lo Celso because he is a really good player and he's making only $598K a year. So he's a bargain. He was on loan last year, but he's a really... If you're playing Tottenham, I don't know how much he would demand on an open market if you're a different team and you wanted to bring him in, but that's a really low wage for his skill. So that's not. I wasn't going to sell him at all, even though he's not like a first teamer, I would say, but he's really, really good. And he can probably be the first team for a lot of the mid-table clubs. Like if I didn't have Basuma and Sabitzer and Bentancur, the Celso would definitely be starting. But a great talent for a very low wage, which is really cool to see. Winks is here just because he's club trained, so I didn't lend him out or sell him or anything, even though he's not quite there skill wise. As you can see, just look at him, you can tell he's just a level below everyone else. But he helps me meet registration standards, so I kept him around. The aforementioned Szoboszlai is in there. Albrighton, who is not going to be playing in that role. Santos. Okay, let's see. Do I have anyone else that I've just selected out? Let's get Albrighton out of there, so we don't have to be distracted by him. All in all, it's a really good midfield, and they can pretty much play almost any role interchangeably. For real. A lot of them are really good, even in this ball-winning midfield role. I'm not lacking for options in the midfield at all. Tottenham has really solid midfield. Destiny Udogie is back. He was on loan all last year, but he's starting this year. Sessegnon is just as good, and he's a bit older. And in fact, when I brought in Livramento on loan, people were mad. And when I brought in Julia Ade the year before, they're like, we have our own people who can play these roles in our youth squads, so why are you bringing them in? I completely disagree with them as far as the right back goes, but yeah, Sessegnon's a good young player, and I have no problem starting him or Udogie. They're both really, really good. And Regulon, I like him a lot. He was someone who I really liked in FM22. He doesn't seem to be quite as good in this version, but he's solid depth. He doesn't complain about not starting, so it's good to have him as depth because, like I said, I run my wingbacks ragged, absolutely ragged in this game. So I'm always subbing them out, and they're always tired and they're always hurt. So good on them. Over at goalie, Fraser Forster is back. He tore his ACL last year, so he was out for 7 months. So I had to kind of grit my teeth through the first season, hoping that Jakir did not go down with any kind of injury, and he did not, thankfully. So I didn't have to go to Brandon Austin at all because he's not good. He's not good at all. But I didn't want to spend the money on another goalkeeper. When I knew Forster would probably get me through this year if he just stayed healthy. He's probably going to retire, announce retirement at the end of the year. When he was injured, he kind of hinted at that, but he didn't retire that year. So he's still here. He's functional. He started my last cup game, and he did all right. So I'm just going to get through this year, and we will worry about Fraser Forster replacing him next year. Over at striker, Harry Kane is still there doing his thing. He's kind of inconsistent. I think it's the tactic. You know how when you're starting a game, and the assistant will make recommendations, and you can hit next match only to make a change if you think that that's a good change for that game, and if you forget next match only, then it makes that change forever. I think I might have done that in one of these games, just accepted my assistant's advice, and now things are wonky sometimes. So I have to figure out what it is or make some changes. And I'm messing around with the games. Depending on if I'm losing, I will make a lot of changes to like how I'm passing and tempo and everything like that to see if I can get back in the good graces of the score sheet. But Hurricane's being a bit inconsistent this year, so I'm gonna have to revisit that. And Youngmin Son, he's unhappy right now, just slightly unhappy, but it is affecting him a little bit, and I need those to perform because those are my superstars. Richarlison, he's having some issues scoring when he's in. Troy Parrott, again, he's just there for because he's trained at club, so I didn't want to loan him out just in case I needed him for registration purposes. Dane Scarlett, I'm excited to work him in. I think that he could be a good spot sub here and there. That's why I wasn't worried about sending Kirikaburu out on loan. So I thought I'd bring in Dane Scarlett as a sub when I'm not using Fofana or Richarlison. It just depends on who's playing on the wing as a sub. I'll put one of those two as starters. Shildrup is also adept at playing striker, but I have not tried him in that position yet, although he does qualify, so he could be there too. So, as you can see, Asensio, he could probably start. He's really good. He's probably, but Kulusevski just produces every time he's on the field. I mean, he is just developing really nicely. So, and he always chips in with a goal or an assist just about every game. So it's hard for me to make room for Asensio unless I want to put him over here when Young Min is tired or out of form. Maybe I can occasionally put Asensio in there, even though it looks like he's better on this side. When you look at his skills, shall we say? Okay, now let's look at where we're at schedule wise. Okay, so we got through the friendly season. Okay, we won the Community Shield against Manchester United, which is always nice to see. I didn't really expect it. I played it off as a friendly, not worried about it, and my team was nice and relaxed when we played. And Harry Kane came through with 2 goals for us, which is cool. We did lose the Super Cup though to Arsenal, and you can see we played Arsenal again down here at home, and Giroud as well. I have a hard time with Arsenal. I guess they're my bogey. They're my bogey team. I can beat just about anyone else, but I seem to struggle against Arsenal. 6-0 QPR, 3-0 over Everton, 1-0 over Leeds. A nice 3-1 win over Chelsea. Let's see who. And no one really produced over here on my offense. Santos, the Wonder Kid, scored. Romero and Silva scored. So I guess they probably scored on set pieces. I guess. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Yep. He got a rebound from Kane. Kane hit it into the bar, and then Silva was able to pick it up and put it in. And then just 5 minutes later, Kane did again. Kane bounced it off the top rack again, and the other center back put it in, Romero. So that helped us beat Chelsea. And let's see what Andres Santos's goal looked like. I think this was his debut goal for the club. Asensio is taking it up, gets to Bendicourt to Udoji, and Santos, from outside the loop. He's able to get it past the goalkeeper for the score. And so we're able to beat them 3-1, which is always nice to see because they are a tough get. Champions League Group G, we are in with Napoli again. We had them last year too. Monaco and Bayer 4. We were the number 1 seed this time, and Monaco was the 4. I think Bayer was the 3rd seed. So, where's that again? So we beat the 3rd seed 4-0 at home, and I guess we won the 3rd round of the League Cup 3-0 over West Ham. But it looks like we play Manchester United next. Let me look at competitions. Where is it? Yeah, Manchester United. So I hate it when the hard teams come up early. It makes makes it so you could potentially be playing a lot less games over the course of the year. And I like to play a lot of games throughout the season because I usually have a large squad that I like to rotate. I like to see people develop and get the opportunity to play. And if I get put out by Manchester United, then just one less opportunity for people to play, especially in the League Cup where you can play a lot of youngins, and really have them get some experience going. And it looks like I'm not going to be able to do that this time. Speaking of that, did I do that? Did I let people play? Asensio, I started Asensio over Youngmin Son. Sapster. Okay, I had my Wonder Kid in Skip Udoji. Joe Rodon was playing Livramento. Yeah, so I did put in Fraser Forster. So I did put some backups in there. Rejulian, got him some game time. Reguilon, sorry, I don't know why it wasn't pronounced the other way. Richarlison played. He got an assist too. So good for him. All right, so we got some people to play in the League Cup as kind of what it's there for. All right, so that's where we're at, guys. That is where we're at. Hopefully, you're getting some good, valuable information out of this. Some ways to look at your teams that you're building. Give you some ideas of how to juggle the wage budget and transfers and stuff like that. And manage loans. I don't know. Or I hope you're just Tottenham fans or Football Manager fans and enjoying, sharing the success story so far that is Tottenham. Like I said, we brought home 2 trophies last year. And we already have the Community Shield this year, so we're looking good. Guys, I appreciate it. Please comment down below if you have anything to say. Subscribe if you would be so generous, and throw a like my way because all that stuff is stuff that YouTube likes, and I would like to grow this channel just to share what's going on. I think it's fun, and I hope you do too. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I will talk to you later. Bye.